What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a very special video. This is my channel's 100th video, but not only that, ladies and gentlemen, not only that, we managed to crack 100 subscribers. We did it on Friday, which is kind of what I was hoping for, to get it before the weekend, so that Monday, when you're watching this video, I can do something special, because it's a big video. 100 subscribers, 100 videos, all kind of worked out quite well together. Not only that, but I'm also able to bring you a very special ship. It was also, I mean, it just the planets aligned, and just worked out really well that I can now bring you this very special ship. So without further delays, without further ado, the Tirpitz, ladies and gentlemen, the glorious German battleship, first German battleship in the game. So I thought we'd quickly start off this video with brief overlook on her stats. I'll maybe do like a proper review on her a little bit later on, but for now, just going to have a quick overview. I've just played my first match and I quite enjoyed it. That might be the video I show you. I might use another one if I have something better. It is kind of World of Tirpitz right now at tier 8, but that's kind of to be expected. So let's quickly have a look. As you can see, 69,300 health, more than any other tier 8 battleship. Armed with 8 15-inch guns. 2.3 rounds a minute, so about a 25-second reload. 21.4 kilometer range. It does do the least alpha damage. Like if you look at maximum AP damage, it's 11,300, and we can quickly go and compare that to North Carolina, which does 13,100. So it's not, not a huge difference. Not like she's doing like 8,000 or something, but it is. It's just something to keep in mind. Torpedoes. Yes, let's go and have a look at them. Torpedoes, ladies and gentlemen, the first battleship in World of Warships to come equipped with torpedoes. They have a 1.5 minute reload time, maximum damage of 13,700, maximum speed of 64 knots, and a range of 6 kilometers. So they're really just for when you get really up close and personal. With the enemy, AA guns, this is her weak point, 47. Again, let's go and look at North Carolina. You can see North Carolina's got 79, her rating. So quite a big difference there, not her strong suit, but maneuverability, top speed of 30.9 knots, making her one of the fastest battleships in the game. I mean, if you look at Iowa, 30.8, so she's like a smidge faster than Iowa. Turning circle of 850 meters, rudder shift time of 21 seconds, basically. So she's fairly maneuverable, fast in a straight line, which is nice. I think this turning circle radius is bang in the middle between North Carolina and Amagi. That's generally what like a lot of her stats fit in, like right in the middle of those two ships. Concealment, 16.4 kilometer surface detectability range and 14.8 air detectability, which is the worst air detectability of any tier 8 battleship, I believe, which is perhaps like a little nod by Wargaming to, the Royal Air Force and all of their attempts to sink the Tirpitz during World War II. So we will then, before we hop over, let's quickly go and have a look at the upgrades I'm running on her. Got the main battery mod 1 to reduce the risk of detonation or turrets being knocked out. Gun modification, fire control system mod 1, so increases the main battery accuracy. Was considering the AA mod just to help improve that, but I already had one of these in the depot, so I went ahead and used that. Damage control system modification 1, just to reduce fire and flooding a little bit, and then the rudder shift time. In this slot, I don't know, neither of these particularly seem worth 2 million to me, but if I ever do put one of those on, it'll probably be the concealment. But yeah, that is it for this very brief 4.5 minute look at the stats of the Tirpitz. So we're going to head off into battle now. As I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to show you the game that I just played, because it was a pretty decent first game. It did end in a draw, so maybe we'll use it, maybe we won't. I did do live comms for it, but I'm going to carry on playing and see if maybe I can find something a bit better for you guys. But otherwise, you know, it wasn't a bad match, so maybe we'll use that. But anyways, let me hit the to battle button, and I'll see you guys when I've decided which gameplay I'm going to use. See you guys in a bit. Alright, and welcome to the battle in the Tirpitz. Now, this is the first game I played in it. However, what I actually decided to do was I ditched the live commentary that I recorded for this game, and I thought maybe instead I would do a post commentary, and that way I can actually share a little bit more about my experiences with the Tirpitz, because obviously, as I said, when I played this was my very, very first game. And, I mean, it wasn't a bad game at all. It's pretty good. But I've had more games in it since then. And, you know, I've learned a few things and that sort of thing. So, again, as I said in the intro, very, very big thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We're on 103 now or something. And the number's going up, so I'm very, very happy. And yeah, I mean, it just kind of worked out that Tirpitz was released just after I hit 100. So obviously I bought it just for you guys. There was no other reason. I was like, you know, I've got to buy, you know, to say thank you to everyone, I've got to buy Tirpitz so I can do a video for them. That was it. That was the only reason. Okay. And screw you if you think differently. All right. Okay. But anyways, so just while we wait for the action to kind of start, and we already got some shells coming in. I believe this was from a cloaked Romulan Tirpitz, and he's about to go behind the cover. Now that's a little bit annoying because he should have showed up the moment he fired and given me a chance to return the favor, but he didn't. So what can you do? One of the things I don't really like about this ship, straight off the bat, is you have to go expose quite a bit of your broadside to get all 4 turrets on target. Same sort of thing I mentioned with North Carolina. Now we got like everyone shooting at me. Unfortunately, a lot of our team went the other way. I've kind of been going a bit slowly to try and let some of our team come this way, and we get 4 hits. Our first 4 hits, 7,500 damage, not bad at all. Kind of been going slowly, trying to let our guys catch up, but in the end, you know, kind of first in line, what can you do? But as I said, yeah, you got to kind of expose quite a lot of your broadside to get all 4 guns on target, especially the number 3 turret. That one is the culprit. And as I said, it's the same thing that I kind of didn't really like in North Carolina, because to get all 3 guns, you know, get to travel towards the enemy and get your rear gun on target, you have to kind of go quite flat to them, which does expose you a little bit to the possibility of being citadeled. And here we got some torpedoes coming in, and this is like really quite annoying because, you know, I made this turn to stop closing distance with all these guys in front of me, take 2 hits, 28,000 damage, something like half our damage gone, and I think some citadels there maybe, or not quite, but this match didn't start off looking particularly like it was going to be particularly good. But I mean, I was turning to not close distance to these guys and landed up turning straight into a wave of unspotted torpedoes. And if I had continued straight, who knows? But we get 4 hits for nearly 9,000 damage, and we're now running bravely back to the safety of our teammates. And it's that same sort of thing you're going to see a bit later, where my turn inadvertently puts me into the path of a torpedo. So we got 2 Tirpitzes, Tirpi, yes? I think we'll go with Tirpi. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. The plural of Tirpitz is Tirpi. Deal with it. And 2 hits for 3,700. So we now got a nice little group of ships here. So we're feeling a little bit safer, but we are on what's that, like a third of our health. Some other things that I have learned about this ship. As I mentioned in the intro, when I looked over the stats, the anti-aircraft rating of the Tirpitz is not good at all. What is it, 47, 57, somewhere there. Now, obviously I watched a lot of videos that came out, you know, on like the late last week, before Tirpitz went on sale, and a lot of them said that the Tirpitz's anti-aircraft guns were okay. They're not great, they're not bad. I would disagree with that. The Tirpitz's anti-aircraft guns are, I'm not going to say they're useless, but they're not good at all. I've been attacked by like squadrons from a tier 7 aircraft carrier, so a tier below me, and I've managed to maybe shoot down one plane. And this is then compounded and made worse by the fact that on every other battleship, tier 7 and above, you can swap out your spotter plane for the catapult fighter and at least give you a chance to, disrupt their attack if you've launched it early enough, if it was in the area. In the Tirpitz, you cannot. Unfortunately, you're stuck with the spotting aircraft, which is really lame, because I find the catapult fighter a lot more useful, and I hate the perspective that the spotter plane gives you. It's because I don't use it enough, sure, but what can you do? I mean, that's the way it is at the moment. I really hope that Wargaming allows you to do that and swap out the spotting aircraft for the catapult fighter, just as you can in any other tier 8 battleship. It's not going to break the game. It's not going to make you, give you godlike anti-aircraft capabilities, just to, help out a little bit. But otherwise, I mean, anti-aircraft guns and the sort of, as I said, having to expose your broadside a fair bit to fire all 4 guns, all 4 gun turrets, are probably the only things right now that I don't like about this ship. The Tirpitz is a very, very good battleship. It's a very good all-rounder. A lot of people have been complaining about the gun dispersion, because I think it is actually slightly worse, or it's roughly the same or slightly worse as North Carolina. However, North Carolina's gun dispersion is at 20. We get pretty decent damage from 4 hits there. The North Carolina's gun dispersion is at 23 kilometers, whereas this is at 21 point whatever. But again, this is almost similar again to an American battleship, where you're not really supposed to use it as a long-range sniper. You're more supposed to get up close and brawl it out a bit, because the main belt armor on the Tirpitz is pretty good from my experience. And in fact, one of the matches I played last night, it was on North, and I was following a friendly Iowa through the channel at where B point would normally be, and there was a Tirpitz just in the slight adjacent channel, and these guys were 5Ks away, and the Tirpitz was taking the hits of the Iowa. Now, of course, that could have just been RNG. It could have been the Iowa player not really knowing how to aim, or having a bad day, or whatever. But the Tirpitz held his own, and actually, I think he got a massive multiple Citadel hits on the Iowa, and got devastating strike and took him out. And then got cocky and said, "That's right, bitch." And then he got killed by me, because he then closed to stupidly close range. I torpedoed him, got 3 out of 4. He torpedoed me, got 1 hit, I think, but I was on even if he had gotten more hits, I had a lot more health than he did. But in close range brawling, from my experience at the moment, so this is not the word of God, this is just from my experience, the Tirpitz's armor seems to be pretty good when you're kind of up close and personal, ranges of 10 to 15, maybe a bit more. From what I've read, it does suffer a little bit in terms of its deck armor, and long range fire from an Iowa or North Carolina or something can citadel you through, just punching through your deck armor. I haven't experienced this yet, but that's just what the word on the forums is. So it's kind of, if all of what I've just said is true, which a lot of it, as I said, is from experience, and I feel it's true, this battleship and I are going to get on really well, because ever since American battleships came out and the brawling style of battleships came out, I've always I found myself preferring that style of gameplay. We tried to take a sneaky shot, and unfortunately our 2 front turrets hit the mountain, but we put 4 hits in for 11,500 emeralds. That was our first really good salvo of this match in the Tirpitz, and he's now on perilously low health. I think he is going to get torpedoed here. I don't think we take the shot, and there we go. He's dead. He's very dead. So what started out looking really badly for our team, especially on this western flank, has kind of turned around a bit. We've some of their ships did fall back, and you can see them in the cap area. The ones that have pushed forward are being dealt with, like that Tirpitz and Nagato here. So I've actually, I've been enjoying the ship. So far, I think this is my best round in it. I believe I'm going to get one hit on Nagato, but we're all kind of turning around now. I've got to turn because of these torpedoes coming in from the Kagero, which have something like a 16-kilometer range. So kind of got to make sure we're not in the same area when they get here. But I've been enjoying it. Unfortunately, I haven't had the best of teams. And if you look at, I think, my win rate, I mean, I haven't played that many games, but my win rate is well below 50% at the moment. So I'm hoping that this doesn't turn out to be another jinxed ship for me like a Targo is, where I just spend most of my matches losing. But regardless, it's a very fun ship. As I said, the only issue is the anti-aircraft guns are not good, and the lack of the being able to swap out the spotter for a catapult fighter just handicaps it even more, and I don't really know why that's necessary. And we aimed a little bit higher there, so most of them went over. But this actually, because I didn't really talk about the more strengths of the Tirpitz in the intro, so we can talk a little bit more about them now, because I did mention the good top speed. I mean, this is a touch faster than an Iowa, similar speed to our Margi. It's faster than North Carolina. It is one of the fastest battleships in the game, and we just didn't lead quite enough to get a Citadel, but we do manage to snag ourselves our first kill in the Tirpitz, and we can see more torpedoes being launched by that Kagero. I think we're going to take some shots here at him, if memory serves. But one other really good thing, one thing that the Tirpitz does really well, is the traverse rate of her turrets is phenomenally fast for a battleship, and we get one hit for 1,000, taking him down to a measly 325 health. So he is, if he runs into a fish, okay, if a large tuna decides to bump into him, he's going to be in a world of trouble. And unfortunately, all the dive bombers miss. But the turret traverse rate is very, very good. It's in the high 30s, I think it's 36 or 38, which is considerably faster than the likes of North Carolina, and slightly faster. I mean, a Margi is in the low 40s, I believe, once fully upgraded. So you're still faster than that. I think this is probably the fastest traversing turrets of any battleship. We do 4,000 damage here. I don't recall if I was trying to close distance with the intention of trying to get a torpedo kill. I don't even remember if we do. We'll just have to wait and see, because I haven't watched this until sitting to do this recording now. And obviously then, as I said, the reload rate is quite good. And do we get the kill here? Not quite. Again, we leave him on like 425 health. But that's fine. We don't really mind. And then, as I was saying, your reload speed is pretty damn good at 25 seconds ish, which is comparable then to Iowa and Montana once you've got the main battery modification 3 installed for 3 million credits. That's quite pricey, but then that does bring your reload rate down to similar amounts. And here we got some more torpedoes coming in. I think we're going to dodge out of these ones pretty easily. Now, I mean, even stock, if you will, the maneuverability is pretty good. Once you get the 20% boost to your rudder shift time installed, you really are quite nice and maneuverable, and you can avoid most torpedoes that are coming in. So, yeah, I mean, overall, this is a really good battleship, and if you have the money, and if you have the desire to have a tier 8 premium battleship. If battleships are your thing, they're very much my thing. I really enjoy playing them. I definitely say it's worth it. Some people, as I said in the intro, are complaining about the bundle, the fact that it comes with premium time and gold, and all of these damage control abilities and that. I'm using the upgraded damage control team and repair party, and this surprised me. One hit, devastating strike. And unfortunately, anyway, that turn we made there, inadvertently putting us into the path of a torpedo again. But anyway, that was our second kill. Presumably, we did a lot of damage, looked away, and didn't see how much we did. And it only registered as one hit. But actually looking now, he received detonation, so he hit his magazine. So that's good. I was confused when that happened. I didn't see any citadels. I didn't actually even realize it was just one hit, nor did I notice the fact that he got detonation. So now that's all nicely cleared up for me. But yeah, it's a really good battleship. The guns are good. Less alpha damage than the 16 inches on Amagi, North Carolina, Nagato, and Colorado even. Probably haven't checked those stats, but I imagine they will have less alpha damage. The penetration of these shells, just going off what Wargaming said in the store, it says it's above average penetration, whatever that means. I haven't had trouble penetrating targets, as long as they're in a situation where I would expect to penetrate them with the likes of North Carolina or Amagi. I feel confident that I can penetrate them with Tirpitz. So, yeah, there's nothing really wrong with the ship except for, as I said, the anti-aircraft guns really, fine. Don't make them as good as North Carolina. That's fine. But at least give us the spotting plane to try and help us out, because that just seems to be a needless, handicap for no reason. I don't know if historically the Tirpitz never had the likes of a catapult fighter, but this is an arcade game, guys. We've made a lot. There's a lot of things that have been done for the sake of balance and for gameplay reasons that might not necessarily be in line with real life, like the fact that your battleship guns are generally maximum range of 23 odd kilometers. I think your marches can go a bit further, but that's not, compared to real life. Battleship guns at a much longer range. So, as I said, they've already made compromises for gameplay and for balance. So, regardless of whether Tirpitz really did have the capability to launch a catapult fighter, because obviously she's got a catapult for a spotting aircraft, but regardless if she had a catapult fighter, I think they can put it in for, just to make it a bit easier, because people will say, oh, stick with your cruisers must support you, and to that I say, have you played World of Warships, ladies and gentlemen? Because cruisers, how often do you find yourself in a game where a cruiser sticks to you and provides cover? And I don't blame the cruiser captains, because you never know which battleship is worth protecting, or whether they're going to sit at the back of the map and do nothing. But it's still, cruisers very often do their own thing, and even when you're a top tier battleship, you're often left all on your own. And here, there's 10 seconds left. We are going to get some sweet revenge on that Kagero for all of the pain he caused us, and with 2 seconds to go, we snagged the final kill. And unfortunately, as I said, my first match in the Tirpitz is a draw, but still not bad in terms of the amount of money you get, and obviously premium ship, so you expect it to be pretty decent. But 49 target hits, 3 enemies destroyed for 458,000 silver, 2,000 research and devastating strike. I think we did come I became second on the team, beaten by our midway who got 4 kills. That Tirpitz came first with 1200, and we did 130,500 damage. So not a bad match at all for your very first game out in it. Since then, you know, I've gotten better with the guns. I've got more citadels and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, citadel-less match, what can you do? But still, I mean, good amount of money, good amount of damage. This would have been better on a win, but, you know, what can you do if only we had a few more minutes? But then, as I've mentioned, Amagi, I may as well touch on that. This is obviously Monday's video. Tuesday's video will either be Nagato or Iowa again. Both of those are replays because I'm an idiot and I didn't record. Amagi is likely to be later this week. I have researched it. I have the money to buy it. I'm just holding out. I used the gold that came with Tirpitz to just convert some experience, so I can take Amagi out fully upgraded, because stock, the anti-aircraft guns on that thing are even worse than Tirpitz. So I don't really want to be taking out a stock hull Amagi into tier 8 matches where you're going to be going up against carriers that will wreck your face. So I'm just kind of playing stuff, getting the money to together to buy Amagi and some of the upgrades. Unfortunately, as I'm sure many of you know, World of Warships at the moment has very much turned into World of Tirpitz, and finding games is taking a long time. And yeah, I don't really always want to sit in queues right now and play with. Had a match last night where there were 12 Tirpi. Excuse me, I almost forgot my own rule. But anyways, that is it for my very special thank you to my 100 subscribers, my channel's 100th video. So yeah, and my first look at the Tirpitz. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and maybe consider subscribing for more World of Warships content, as well as War Thunder and a few other things I throw into the mix from time to time. Also, be sure to check the description down below for links to my Facebook and my Twitter pages, and you guys can follow me there as well if you so desire. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for stopping by, and once again, I can't say this enough, thank you so much to every single one of you who has subscribed, to every single one of you who comments regularly, who gives my videos a thumbs up. It really helps me out. But yeah, that is it from me. Predator458 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.